y'all? We out here in Bloomington, Illinois right now, headed out to Nebraska. Christmas is coming on fast, and I just wanted to do a Christmas shout out. One of the things that happens every year. I know probably not you know, but a lot of people go through the holidays and get a little carried away, start buying more stuff than they can afford, and the memories from Christmas ends up having some element of resentment or other bad memories, you know, and that's so not what Christmas is supposed to be about. You know, it's nice to give, you know, as the saying goes, it's better to give than to receive, but we can't get so caught up in the giving of material things that we have to pay for it months after the holiday. And like a lot of parents, you know, you always want to give your kids all that you can and as much of what they ask for as you can. And with today's marketing and all the stuff, you know, that they see and want, that's going to be impossible for most parents. And you shouldn't feel bad about not being able to give them everything. In fact, part of what a child should learn as a child is that they can't get everything they want. That's a very important lesson for them to take into adulthood so that they are mentally prepared and armed with the skill of life, because that's the reality that they will face, is that you can't have everything you want, you know. That's what leads to unrealistic expectations sometimes. Is like you might have rich parents that give the child everything, you know, and all of a sudden the child is 21, 22, 23, trying to live out on their own, and anytime something doesn't go right with their employer or with even relationships, then it's highly depressive and it's hard for them to deal with. You know what I mean? But I didn't mean to go that far into it at this time, but that's relevant, so I guess I should go into it. And as far as you know, the same thing with the ladies, a lot of y'all, you know, you got to think about, you want this, that, the other, and of course it's nice and it's good if you got a man that can do that, but some of y'all will impose a huge pressure on the man with all the things that you want, and then you turn around January, February, March, or whatever, and complain about how little he's home because, or that he works all the time, when he's paying the bill that was created in order to give you what you want, because you'll turn around and complain if you don't get some of these material things. So that's something to keep in mind when you give them this long list of stuff, and when you act like you got to have it or you'll be mad for forever about it, you know, keep that in mind. And actually this happens all throughout the year, where some ladies, you know, you spend a lot of money, spend all the money, and not take care of some of the responsibilities or whatever, or put the bills first, and then when the significant other has to make up for that money by working, then you complain about how much you work. So that's something to keep in mind also. But yeah, that's about it. So I basically just want to say, keep in mind that Christmas is supposed to generate positive memories. It's supposed to be a fun time, a good time. And if you let it get out of hand and focus too much on the material aspect of Christmas, then down the road it can become a source of bad memories gift, you miss time with your family. I don't think it's, or you can't pay your bills. You don't know how you're going to put food on the table. You don't know how you're going to keep the electricity on because you spend so much at Christmas. So that's just something that I wanted you to think about beforehand so you don't end up in that predicament. Okay. Thank you now. Bye-bye. Oh, one more thing though. For, you know, I know a lot of parents right now, a lot of people, you can't afford to even give gifts to the person you love or to your children. And you shouldn't allow that to get you depressed. If you have a loved one that you can't afford to give gifts to, then honestly, if that person don't understand your situation, then you either need to stop lying or you need to get better at communicating, or you have a ridiculous person that lacks understanding, because how are you going to care about somebody but make them feel bad about not giving you a gift and you know their situation? So, you know what I mean? Either they don't know your situation because you're lying about it, or you're putting up a front about your financial situation, or you think they know and they don't know, which means you have an issue with communicating, or you got one pitiful mate. That's just being real. As far as not being able to buy a gift for you, all the stuff or any of the stuff that your child may want, well, you know, we already talked about a scenario in which you're getting some things but not getting everything, and not going into serious debt getting stuff. But some parents, I know you can't get anything for your child because times are just that hard, you know. And if this is the same thing as last year, the year before, and the year before, well then my best advice to you is to do something starting today that will help you to not be in that same situation next year for that person. As far as a lot of other people, you know, this is a new occurrence for you. You never really had this problem before because some things might have come up. Of course, we're in this bad period of time right now. There's no telling how you got in the situation, man, you know, and you can't, there's nothing you can do about that. So, and if you're bringing your child up, you know, right, the best way you can, part of the lessons you teach them is going to prepare them for situations like this. But one of the things would be not to be so materialistic, you know. But I know what the reality is. A child is a child, and is unable to comprehend at an adult level with full maturity. I understand that. But what I'm telling you is not the end of the world. And for young kids, a lot of times parents place the burden on themselves by themselves because the child don't even know what Christmas is, you know, and don't have an expectation. Oftentimes the parents are the ones that start this expectation of the child. So if you got a very young child, please don't even sweat it. You know what I mean? Now if you have an older child, of course, you I guess that's why they're creeping with the police in the middle. I just don't understand the need of slowing down and going below the speed limit 5 miles an hour because of the police in the middle. But that's just me. You know, maybe that's ridiculous. Maybe you forget about it. Anyway, as far as having an older child, again, you know, hopefully you've been teaching them the things as they reach the age that they are, that even even though it may hurt and they may be initially disappointed or whatever, they will have some level of understanding and trust and believe. Well, I mean, that child sees you struggling, see you trying to provide for the family and doing all that you can do, and you are doing the things that you can do to be the best parent that you can, and your priorities are in order, then that child, if they don't understand Christmas Day, they'll come around to an understanding. They're not going to hold it against you. The objective is to take what you do have and make Christmas as best as it can be with what you do have and around what Christmas is really all about. So gifts in and of itself is really not the main focus. Take an opportunity to make Christmas something memorable in other ways, you know, the way that you spend the time together, or something like that, you know. And I mean, basically just explain why they can't get some of the things that you would like to be able to give them right now. But, you know, people go through hard times, and when you are facing hard times, then you have to prioritize, and some things you can do and some things you can't. And that's just something that is a part of life, you know. All of this is a lesson for life to take forward, and you know, really, this can be something that prepares a child for unpleasant circumstances down the road as an adult. So, I mean, really, bottom line is, it's not the end of the world. Things are going to be all right. The most damage that can be done is really superficial, and the biggest part of which is all in your mind and all in the teaching you provide around the incident. And that's something much bigger to focus on than not being able to buy an expensive gift, or a cheap gift for that matter. And that's all I got to say about that.